Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. Merry belated Christmas to all of you. Hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. And as we're gearing up towards the end of the year, and I want to thank all you guys for listening in to us. And also check out our paid sponsor, AlgoFactory.tech. AlgoFactory.tech. And if you were in Algo Factory, everything that is happening today with the metals market is stuff we talked about in January. Literally, literally play by play, number by number. We are following a trajectory that we laid out. Me with the macros and Cowboy with the technicals. We painted a picture for all you guys back in January. And if you're taking advantage of it, you would have done quite well for yourself.
Yeah, so let me expand on that. So
expand on it.
The conversation briefly was V said that a lot of larger players are moving their crypto to gold. That was in January, and crypto was at about $100,000, right, roughly there. And that right there was the key moment. And we did the charting and we did the predictions, but that was the key moment right there. So that's all. I just had to throw that in there. And there's a link in the description. If you want to know more about Algo Factory, you get to click that link and you'll see an Algo built, and we'll put you on a mailing list with more information. But V, go ahead, please.
Absolutely. And so check out AlgoFactory.tech. And also, guys, follow us on Twitter, Rogue News ESW on Twitter, at Rogue News ESW. And check us on every single podcasting app known to humanity, everywhere you want us to be, plus a bag of chips. And with that being said, Cowboy, good morning, man. Lots of things going on, brother.
Yeah, man. Been, Christmas week is always pretty slow, but not this Christmas week. That was pretty exciting if you're watching the silver charts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's bring up the silver charts real quick. And a lot of people have been emailing me, calling me, wondering, and hey, they're like, V, you talked about this. We're here. Are we at the Rubicon? Are we at the end of all things? Is it happening? Is the West collapsing? And the answer is a little bit of each. A little bit of each, man. A little bit of each. So I don't know what chart. What chart you want to pull up, man? You want to pull up the silver chart?
Yeah, bring it up.
Let's bring up silver. See where silver's at. And I'm going to give you guys the background of what the hell's really going on. I'm sure you guys heard a lot of rumors from various different sources out there saying that JP Morgan has moved its trading desk to Singapore and all this other nonsense. That's all bullshit, and that never occurred. I was a frequent visitor to 270 Park Avenue, which is their corporate headquarters, their old corporate headquarters. Now they've redone it, and it's really big. They're not moving anything over there at all. They don't, they are where they are. Silver, where's it sitting at right now, Cowboy?
Right now it's at 70. It peaked out over, I think it was last night at about 84. There's a big open, the Sunday futures open, and then it dropped down to about 70. So some might think that's a good buy. We could talk about what might happen, but that's the chart. You're looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and really quick, could you also tab?
By the way, sorry to interrupt, V. This is like from 2024 to now. This chart you're looking at. So this is a chart that shows week by week what's been going on. Let me delete some of the noise off here. That might help the audience with a little bit of context to see what silver has done. And by the way, let me delete this guy here just so you all understand. In Algo Factory, while silver was going up and down here, Algo Factory started in 2023, so I could put like a yellow line to show you where that is.
Oh, this is
right about January 2023. And I call V with I have these moments of idiocy, and 1 in 10 is a moment of brilliance, but just, the others, I think I'm smart, and then it's just not a good idea. But then one of the, I'm like, and then V tolerates it when I call him, bro, I got a good idea. He's like, all right, what do you got now? And then I said, hey man, here's the deal. Holding crypto and making money without doing anything, that's going to go away.
Right? Yes, it is. And it's gone.
And I said this in 2023, and V knew it. I'm not telling V anything he doesn't know. So it's hey, everybody's going to sure, probably going to make some money. They're going to hold their crypto, but just going long on crypto, that's not going to be a way to make money in the future. Not really. Yeah. You'd be able to make some money doing it in the 4-year cycle. But the reality is if people want to make money in markets, they're going to have to learn how to trade. Right. And so we built this knowing we thought maybe people might hear the message and hear the fact that just like holding your favorite crypto and basically thinking you're a genius because you got in early, like we figured people would listen to us and understand, okay, we better take a year or two to learn how to trade so that when this game is over, because it will be over, we'll be able to make money in markets. And people like, some listened, some didn't, and many didn't. And we want you to listen right now because this time of easy money is over. Like, sure, if you're holding gold and silver, you're doing great, right? But if you're not holding as much as you want to hold, and as time goes on and things get more difficult, you want to buy more, you're going to have to figure out a way to do it. And, this yellow line is where we started Algo Factory. And we said, what is going to happen on the chart is like, we said, hey, this is going to happen. And here it is right there in front of you. So that's the, that's that. So I just want to show you where Algo Factory started. And this is the beginning of 2024, right about here. Go ahead, V. I just wanted to just kind of, let people know, like, this is not a joke, right?
Yeah. We've been on the money. Now, let me give all you guys the background on what the hell's really going on behind the scenes from an institutional side, so you guys get to have a real picture of what the hell's happening versus people who don't work in these respective industries, and if they do, they're not at an international level. It's no knock on them. It's just like, my whole thing with a lot of information is like, stay in your lane. Like, if you're, I'm not going to comment on things that I don't know about. Like, I'm just not. It's just not. I don't know about it. I have no clue. But I'll ask and let me see what happens, right? So
yeah, well, like when I need to know about makeup tutorials, I always call V first.
Exactly. So going back several years, right? If you guys think back to 2013, 2014, right? I think around that time, 2013, 2014, right about the time before the situation in Ukraine, before the Maidan popped off, and we've gotten that whole Ukraine situation kicked off. There was a movement in around many people. If you guys remember, the whole stacking silver movement started, right? Where everybody's like, stack silver, and everybody was stacking silver. And silver was at, $15, $16, $17, $18 an ounce. It went as high as $24. It went as high as I think 28 or $30 was the highest it's seen before it came back down. But there was an entire movement of stacking silver. And I remember Max Kaiser, it was, and Max used to follow me on Twitter way back then. Max Kaiser, he came out with the tagline, "Crash JP Morgan, buy silver." Do you guys remember that? Cowboy, do you remember that? Crash JP Morgan, buy silver? Do you remember that?
I was on mute. No, I don't remember that that whole thing.
So this was in 2013, 2014. Max Kaiser there was a whole movement of stackers, and they were the original hodlers, but they were hodling silver. And they would go out there every week. I was, stacking silver. I had like a cousin of mine. He was, he went out every week and bought an ounce of silver and stacked it, and that's how it was, because the whole thing. And when during that time, we knew that JPM's short position on silver was at that time $32 an ounce, and over the course of many years, it moved to 34 and 42 and whatnot. But we've reached, so we knew that if irrespective of what the spot price was, we knew that many Western banks were over leveraged in silver. They had so many short positions that they cannot cover those positions. And fast forward to the financial collapse, fast forward to where we are today with so many things that have occurred, paradigm altering events that have changed forever, the world waking up to the fact that the United States is a Ponzi scheme. That's all it is. The United States is a Ponzi scheme masquerading as a country at the end of the day. And all presidents are pre-selected leaders who manage the Ponzi and sell it to the public. Every aspect of the American economy is a cottage industry of finance. And finance's only purpose is to keep the Ponzi going. That's it. And some pivotal key movements occurred within the global markets, within the global paradigm, that has altered things in a major, major way. the big event that really started kicking off the metals market little by little, lit the fuse, but it was a long fuse to burn. If you guys remember back in 2024, during the summer, July of 2024, Saudi Arabia made an incredible announcement. That incredible announcement is they are not going to take the dollar as the sole payment for, or the sole settlement for the purchase of petroleum, right? For the purchase of oil. That they will open the doors. They will allow other currencies and for the settlement of oil, for the settlement of petroleum. So right then and there, the petrodollar got a kick in the nuts. And all the belligerent, half-hearted, insane, cockamamie American policies that have played out in the Ukraine, that have played out in how they were trying to provoke Russia into a wider conflict, how they were bankrupting and pulling the rug from their European quote-unquote allies, and all the shenanigans and chicanery that were involved with the mess that is in the Levant with Israel. The world has woken up to the fact that the United States cannot be trusted, that the West is not a good steward of the relationships that were placed upon it, and particularly the United States and its status, and the dollar status as world reserve currency is something that they held very cheaply. And the world realized that they can't be a part of this anymore. And fast forward to where we are today. Months and months ago, back in January, I knew private equity. I knew that a lot of guys, a lot of power players in finance were getting the hell out of the crypto markets. They're running it up. They understand the crypto market is dog shit to begin with. There's no real liquidity in there. It's a joke, right? It's an absolute joke. And what is occurring is they're moving into metals. And I got that key piece of data. You know, I shared that with our members over at Algo Factory. And then what occurred, because I seen, you know, what was occurring with the metals market, because I've been in that industry for almost 15 years at this point, I started noticing something. China, for the longest time, is the largest producer of gold in the world. They're the largest buyer of gold in the world. They're the largest importer of gold in the world, and the largest exporter of gold in the world. They have, unofficially, when you count all the sovereign wealth funds through which they buy, they're sitting on anywhere between 40 to 45,000 metric tons of gold. Now, Russia's gold reserves are also high. Many experts have claiming are anywhere between 20 to 30,000 metric tons. India is sitting on 30,000 metric tons amongst the population, not so much with the government, and so on and so forth. Why is this key? Why is this key?
Well, we have our deep storage gold, V.
Right, it's so deep and it's so stored, we don't even know where it is, but trust us. Trust us, we have it.
I think they find it in Lindsey Graham's ass.
Yeah. You have also, right, what happened when Ukraine fell? We heard the rumor as soon as Ukraine fell during the Maidan. You had AC-130s coming, you know, C-130s that were landing, and 34 metric tons of gold was taken out of Ukraine. We know that Venezuela's gold went missing with the Bank of England. We know Saudi Arabia's gold went missing. So all these things were happening. But the Eastern powers, the multipolar world, realized something. The multipolar world realized that the way you end the power and pull and criminality of the West is you have to kill the paper that they rely upon. You have to kill the dollar. You have to put an end to this dollar hegemony. And the only thing that will do it is not a cryptocurrency. The only thing that will do it, that will really bring change to the entire global market and create a fair and equitable playing field for all those involved, is metals, gold and silver. Now, we've seen first the price of gold being moved. We've seen it go, you know, crest from $1,700, $1,800 an ounce, $1,900. We got into 2,000, 2,077, 3,000 became 4,000. And Cowboy, where's the dollar sitting at right now? Gold sitting at right now. It's like what, 4,000 and what, 200?
Let's take a look. Give me just one moment. I'll tell you. Gold is at 43.30.
There you go. So it's sitting at 4,300 and climbing. You know, I made the prediction that we're going to be testing 4,000 and change by the winter of 2025. And here we are. Okay, I made this prediction months and months ago, I think in the beginning of the year. We are going to be testing $6,000 and $7,000 an ounce, maybe even more, come spring of 2026. Silver will be at $500 an ounce, guaranteed. Okay, silver, I think by this time next year, will be touching close to $1,000 an ounce. Why? Because Western financial systems are breaking down. Western financial systems have lost all credibility. There's no mark to market. It's difficult to find what the underlying asset is. Everything is a convoluted mess, an absolute convoluted mess. And I haven't even begun to take into account the derivative markets and all the nonsense that's tied in with that. And so now we're seeing the move.
Sorry to interrupt, V.
Yeah.
We don't give investment advice. We're just talking about what we think is going to happen. So you got to make your own decisions on what you buy and sell.
Correct. So now we're seeing the multipolar world, and they're buying silver at a frenzy. They are causing a move that is occurring right now that is very, very revelatory, where two things are going to be happening. Okay, this is a prediction that's floating out there, and I stand by it. I've been talking about this amongst friends for weeks and months and years. You guys probably heard of this word, force majeure, right? That means an unforeseen event that's going to cause an unforeseen action, right? That has to occur irrespective of what people think about it, right? That's basically what a force majeure is. They'll be forced to do something because of an unforeseen event. For the longest time, the way the game was played between COMEX and between the LBMA is that if you were to make a large purchase of silver, then no physical silver would ever trade hands. Only thing that would trade is a name on a ledger, on a contract ledger, where now, if you're purchasing gold and I'm selling it to you, or you're buying silver or whatever, and I'm selling it to you, I would simply have my name removed and your name added on as the person that owns this bar of gold, this bar of silver, right? And it's been like that for so long, right? And then we've heard the murmurings that Fred, Joe, Tom, Dick, and Harry, they all have their names to the same bar of gold or silver. And then we started to realize in the COMEX, there's not enough silver to cover the shorts. There's not enough silver to cover the ownerships, right? We knew that they have 34,000 ounces of silver at one point, and they'll have 106,000 ounces in contract. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. And so what would occur? Well, people didn't care. Why? Because there's a liquidity play, and there's an arbitrage play, and the system was hunky-dory. Everything was copacetic. Everybody was happy. And now the global paradigm has shifted all over the world. And I knew this. And Cowboy, if you remember this, maybe like last year, I said, hey, man, something crazy happened. There was 110 metric tons of silver and gold that was settled in New York.
Yeah.
Right? And they demanded what? Physical delivery.
Yep.
Something started to break. They no longer want a contract ledger change. They want physical delivery. Well, there's a problem. The COMEX doesn't have enough physical to supply the demand. They don't have enough physical for settlement. NYMEX doesn't have enough physical for settlement. The LBMA doesn't have, not the pricing side of LBMA, but the supply side of LBMA doesn't have enough physical to offer for settlement. They don't have it. And now the world realizes this. And every single day, they're demanding more and more and more. So what does a force majeure scenario look like?
Wait, this is from Gulag here. He says, what comes after force majeure? It's force
manure. Absolutely.
That's pretty good.
Absolutely. That's absolutely right. The force majeure scenario that's going to play out in the COMEX, and it could happen at any moment. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen this week, next week. It could happen sometime soon. But if the trends follow, this is what it's going to look like. They will allow only cash settlement. Meaning if silver goes from $70-something an ounce and it crosses $100, the COMEX will cash you out at $80, man. Right?
Yeah, they can just choose the price. What they'll do is they'll probably do it over the weekend.
Yeah,
where they'll spend everything they have to keep price at a certain, level at the Friday close. And then over the weekend, you'll get a futures open at like 120, but they're going to cash you out at Friday's close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they'll keep the difference.
Yeah, and they don't even need to do the Friday thing. They could just do whatever they want. But in response to that, the rest of the world will panic into silver and, like physical. So,
yeah, absolutely. So they have to, at that point, the jig is up. At that point, who would want to do business in the U.S. market? When I can go settle. If China opens up their silver market and they allow Shanghai to settle in physical, it's over. And in fact, they do allow settlement in physical. So why the hell would I want to settle in NYMEX or COMEX? Why would I want to do that? Here I am. I'm trading the paper. The paper goes to 120. I'm being cashed out at 80. What the hell's going on here? This is the hard reality that's facing these morons who've been playing this paper game of phantom wealth creation for the last 50 years. Prosperity without profits. Phantom wealth effect. We're living in an age where stupid graphic card companies like NVIDIA are valued at $5 trillion. Let me explain something to you guys. Right now, silver has passed NVIDIA as the second most valuable asset right now. Okay? Silver has passed NVIDIA to be the second most valuable asset right now in the world.
NVIDIA's not even real.
It's not even real. Absolutely.
It's the biggest market cap in the world.
Absolutely. It is. So I have the link right here. Silver overtakes NVIDIA to become the second largest asset in the world by market cap.
You send me that link, V.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's
put it in the private chat or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it right now.
No, it's from watcher.guru on X. I don't know if I can screenshot it. Let's see here.
You just put the link in the private chat.
Yeah, it was a screenshot sent over from Gus.
Oh, I gotcha. That's a little difficult. I'll see if I can get X, even though I'm banned on X. I can still look at it.
Yeah, I can get it over to the screen.
Yeah,
you know what? I could give it to you on Telegram.
Yeah, Telegram's good. If it's just a screenshot, I don't know what I can do with it. But just to come Watcher Guru, right?
Yeah, Watcher Guru.
Let's see here. Search Watcher Guru. I saw that. I think you sent it to me before.
I got it. It's sent to you right now on Telegram. Bang, you got it. Saying failed.
I don't see it on Telegram. Watcher Guru. Yeah, but it's a good thing to see. Yeah, I can't search on X. They got me all blocked.
Hold on.
I gotta get a new machine to use X.
Yeah, failed.
That's right. We get the idea, right?
Yep. So anyway, our market cap, it is the second largest asset in the world. And NVIDIA is not a real thing like we were saying earlier. NVIDIA is a stupid graphics card company. You're telling me a graphics card company is worth $5 trillion? You're telling me a graphics card company with one SKU is worth more than the entire country of Germany? Are you kidding me? This is the type of bullshit that they're telling you. They're trying to sell you this. Oh, look at our billionaires. Elon's worth $450 billion. He's going to be the first trillionaire. It's fake. It's all fake.
There we go. I got something here.
There you go. Silver overtakes NVIDIA to become second largest asset after gold. Look at that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, NVIDIA inks a deal with who else was it? It was Ellison's Oracle, and they ink a deal with some other company, and they spin up $1 trillion by re-inking those deals, by rehypothecating their own fake bullshit.
Yep.
That's why their market caps are so high. They spin up $1 trillion out of nothing.
Exactly correct.
And I don't know, the things we're trying to figure out, we put a few feelers out there, guys, and if we can get the information and if it's okay to share, we're trying to find out if Ellison actually deployed that money, because we don't know if he did.
I don't think he did.
See,
I think it's just passing notes. It's literally to the point where it's like, if you and I were to do something like that, we'd be in Leavenworth, man.
Yeah. No, but we don't have the backing of a certain little country in the Middle East.
Yeah.
We can't be like a certain guy it was the head of their security in Vegas that tried to get a 14-year-old girl or something, and they
Oh yeah,
he just,
cybersecurity. Yeah.
we don't have that kind of protection where you can commit that type of crime and then be spirited off to Israel after you get
here you're being
arrested.
held in jail, and State Department officials walk in and let you out.
Yeah. So they, and on top of that, if you want to spin up $1 trillion out of thin air for pieces of paper that got signed and not a single product, actually made, then you could do that if you have the backing of a certain country in the Middle East. That's all. We don't have that. But here's the thing about that: silver doesn't require such backing at this point, and it did have those kind of games being played, and that's fallen apart. And that's fallen apart because places like Russia, China, and even India are holding the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And people want their physical settlement, and as soon as the COMEX breaks, guys, it's going to be crazy. Like, what do you think? And I know I kind of derailed it. I don't know if you had anywhere else to go, but the next question I would have is, as somebody who is just looking to make money, what do you think is going to happen in the stock market as a result of this?
The West has one play, and this is where we're getting to, right? So what's happening with this? The West realizes it doesn't have anything physical. The West realizes, the United States, let me be more specific, realize it has nothing to offer the world. The only thing it has to offer the world is global homo, fake democracy, and bullshit markets, bro. That's it. That's it. That's what the United States has to offer the world. We can't build shit. We don't know how to build nothing. We don't own any of the supply chains to all the bullshit we peddle to the world. We have no supply chain. We don't own it. So what's the only thing we have is paper. So the only counter to all of this is what? Dow 100,000. Dow 75,000. Dow 80,000. That's where it's going to go. They're going to pump the equity markets higher and higher. And look, the equity markets for a long time now has been completely disjointed from the physical economy. The physical economy is dying the death of 1,000 cuts, whilst the paper market, the speculative market, the finance market, the fire economy continues to burn. And that's going to be the saving grace. Oh, why you want to buy silver and gold? Look at our market. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is worth $10 trillion. Who wants gold and silver when NVIDIA is trading at, $400, $500 a share, something like
that? Who wants your barbarous relic?
Yeah, who wants your barbarous relic when you could buy Oracle? Who wants your barbarous relic when you could buy shares in Netflix and Apple and
can't
Google
eat your gold.
and Microsoft? Yeah.
You can't eat your silver.
Uh-huh. You
saw those videos of people on the street like, oh, you could have a candy bar or you could have this bar of silver. And this is back when silver was like, $15-$20 an ounce.
Yep.
People still chose the candy bar. People are so stupid. It's not even a joke.
Yeah. People are just beyond dumb, man. They have no concept of what real money is. They have no concept of it. And we're about to pay the West is about to have a real rude awakening because the financial planners, those elites, the obso elites in the West, they don't have a way out for this. Their way out is two things. In Europe, you're going to get austerity, right? You're going to get some of the most brutal austerity you've ever felt. If you're in Europe, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, you're going to have the most brutal austerity you've ever encountered. You will be absolutely decimated as your countries will be turned into some sort of a neo-feudalistic, totalitarian nightmare. You're already headed there, right? Now, what's going to happen in the United States? Well, our market is going to implode up. Okay, we're going to implode up. And at that point, we're going to see how the dust settles. Could we possibly wind up being like, I don't know, Brazil? Possibly. Could we be like somehow balkanized? That's also a possibility, right? But at the end of the day, the United States will be a severely weakened power. It will not be, the be all end all. And that day of reckoning is coming. All these guys who are sitting pretty, all these crypto bro morons thinking their shit coin is going to go, is going to go 1000x, and all these other dildos out there who think that NVIDIA, I have a Tesla stock, and all this is going to be the thing that undergirds their retirement is in for a rude awakening as well. You cannot screw with economic mother nature for this long without absolutely being torn apart, because economic mother nature is a bitch with fangs and claws, and she's about to shred the Western world. The rest of the world is sick of it. It's absolutely sick of it. And we're too stupid here, the leaders, where I said, look, the left in this country hates Russia, and the right in this country hates China. Therefore, nothing gets done. We'll have so much political gridlock that we cannot work with the two very countries that can help us get out of this mess, and they are willing to help us. This is the problem we're at. And you got all these guys out there with all these theories telling you all these scenarios of what needs to happen. Folks, let me explain something to you. It's going to be a different world when you don't have assets, where you're in negative net negative net worth, right? And you can't put food on the table. Your kid is crying. It's a different reality. And all these posers on Wall Street are in for it as well. They're in for it. We are at a very critical point, and at this point, guys, I don't have a time frame for you. God forbid nothing happens. God willing, nothing happens. You're looking at $100 of silver going into the first quarter of 2026. Gold's going to be getting back up to $4,800 an ounce, and then by the springtime, we're going to be off to the races in terms of where things are going to go in terms of gold and silver, right? And then you're gonna have a handful of cryptos. XRP might be doing something. Zcash might be doing something. Monero will be doing something.
Monero is doing something.
Yeah, Monero's doing great. Monero's doing phenomenal, right? Bitcoin is what it is, right? But the stock market is going to continue to go up, right? The middle class is going to shrink in this country. It will continue to shrink. Food prices are going to go higher. People are like, oh, we're in an affordability crisis. You ain't seen nothing yet. Nobody could fix where we are. We're a plane with the nose pointed down. We are in a dive. We're not in a sharp dive, but we are losing altitude, and we're losing it pretty quickly. Not too quickly, but just pretty quick. So the middle class is dying. The physical economy will become non-existent. The only thing left for you, the last shoe to drop, is the equities market. The only way to take advantage of that is you have to figure out on how to play it. If you can get into this is what I tell everybody, this is not a pitch for Algo Factory or anything like that. I don't even care if you guys go with us or you figure out some way to do it yourself. Use the bullshit bubble to your advantage. Take profits from the bubble and buy real physical assets. That's what's going to shoehorn you. That's what's going to protect you. This is not financial advice, but for the longest time, any chartered financial expert will tell you having a small portion in precious metals is a good strategy. That's what they will tell you at a very conservative, level. For me personally, what I do, I like things that are tangible, metals, arts, this, that, and the other. Things that are tangible, things that are highly liquid. I love that stuff. And that's where we're going to head. Dow 50,000 is what America is going to use. Dow 60,000, 75,000 is what the United States are going to use. Hey, look at our you got physical.
Dow is at 49. No, yeah, Dow's at 49,000 now, dude, and Dow topped out at 49,100 or so. Like we're Dow 50,000 now.
Yeah,
I already bought. I mean, when did you tell us to print the T-shirt? Like 2023?
Yeah, it's a Dow 50,000.
And I don't give a T-shirt. I'm a flying fuck, dude. This is a pitch for Algo Factory. We've been telling people everything. I don't care, bro. I'm shameless. You guys, we tell people this stuff early on over there. Like, sure, you could do V. I get people. We got a guy who did some coding for us, and he said, I try to pay him. I try to pay him. He says, I won't take your money. I said, why not? He says, I've been listening to V for years. I've made so much money just because of the ideas that he's talked about. It's like, you're just, if you need anything, let me know. And we got people who, that's just how it is. And
that's our coder with a serious heavy coding background.
Yeah, and also that dude's got that guy has quite the professional background beyond coding.
Very
That's
professional.
not even his main thing. Like that
Yeah.
guy's just a genius. But the point is that like even I don't know, dude. If you want to hear it early, that's where to hear it. That's all I'm gonna say.
And guys, you don't need any tech skills. You don't need any math skills. Okay, you don't need to be proficient in any of that crap. It's not rocket science, and we break that down for you, right?
Yeah,
It's like
there's people in Algo Factory who don't even care about trading. They just want to hear what V has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But as V was just saying before I really interrupted, you don't need to know. Like you don't have to have like high school math good enough. Like I can teach anybody anything. So go ahead, V. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, dude. And that's the whole thing, because this is the why do I bring up this whole thing with the equity market? Because it's the last exploit the average American has. It's where else you're gonna go? Where you're gonna, you can 10x your funds. You could literally see it go. I mean, it's this market's gonna ride. People are like, well, where should I invest? Well, keep it in the market, take some profit out, get hard assets, wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's that's where we are. We have nothing else to offer the world except, fake wars, fake economy, global homo, fake democracy. We got nothing. We got nothing. A couple of days ago, I saw this short where Trump is like, talking about money for digital infrastructure and data plans and data centers and all this other stuff. The supply chain to build all of this stuff and the intellectual know-how to really bring it up to the next level, we don't own those supply chains. It's a problem, folks. It's a problem. But then it dawned on me. I was like, oh, he's just another pitch man. Every president, every politician is a pitch man for the Ponzi scheme. And let me explain something to you. And being a pitch man has its perks and has its rewards. How do you explain a guy like that who's Eye Patch McCain? Who's that Navy SEAL idiot?
I believe it's David Crenshaw.
Yeah, Crenshaw.
I like
Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw. That fucking moron. I'd like to
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, Dan. He goes, I'll fucking kill Tucker. I'd like to be in a room for 5 minutes with one Eye Patch McCain. See who kills who. But that's a side note. But that moron Crenshaw, that low IQ buffoon, that drunken hag Pelosi, these are pitchmen for the Ponzi scheme. And the Ponzi scheme has its rewards. They are allowed insider information to which that you and I would go to jail if we did something similar. And this is why Crenshaw, who's a moron, is worth $10 million on a $150,000 a year congressman salary, right? It's that Pelosi's worth $250 million on her $174,000 congresswoman salary, right? Why? The system rewards them because they're all plugged into the Ponzi. They're taking advantage of it. Folks, stop being dogmatic. I tell a lot of guys, listen, stop being dogmatic. Do what the elites do, but just be, just do it at the best level you can in terms of if they're in the market, they're putting their eggs in like NVIDIA and Spinvidia and Oracle and Tesla and Netflix and Apple and Microsoft. Hey, why not? Why not copy them, right? But then take the profits and throw it into real equitable stuff. There are people that don't have the ability to sit there and trade and go open up a TD Ameritrade account. There are people doing this on their phone on Robinhood. You could do it on, okay? But the fact is it's like this is the final exploits because this is it. There's nothing to offer. We're seeing higher than ever metals and commodities prices, which is all signs that the dollar is dying. The dollar is falling apart. Okay, we went into in the year 2000 with the dollar being like 40 some odd percent of all global trade settlement, right? 60% of all global trade settlement. Excuse me. Now we're like 34% and falling. This is a huge thing, folks. This is a huge thing. Yeah, Gilbert is right. AOC went from a broke bartender. Now she's worth at least anywhere between $5 to $10 million at this point.
Yeah, Elon Omar married her brother. She's worth $30 million. Very nice wedding gift.
Yeah. This is what it's all about, man. It's like we can sit here and we can commentate, propagate, and masturbate to all this stuff, or you can get involved, learn, figure it out, and understand the game plan, because these suckers don't care about you. There's nobody coming to rescue you. There's no white hats. There's no 4D chess. There's none of that shit. It's just you and your family and what you can do to put money and food on the table. And that's that. We're in the final act. And I don't know how this is going to play out, because at this point, like I said, God forbid, barring any unforeseen events, we are in an event-driven scenario, right? So I can't even tell you about, hey, you know what, next week, look for this, or, next month, look for this. I've already given you guys all the signals that we're looking at on my back end of things, and do with it as you will. But in terms of, can things go completely sideways? Yes. We are on a knife edge on how things are playing out, folks. And I'll tell you right now, Velas and I talked about this. Cowboy, me, Velas, we talked about this. Fall of 2026 is looking ominous, folks. It's looking ominous. I don't know what exactly is going to play out. I have no clue. But the feelers that I'm putting out with my guys in the in the market, my guys in the equities markets and stuff like that, some heavy hitting institutional players, we're all kind of worried about fall of 2026. Okay. So,
and you're not even talking about the season, by the way. You're just talking about the fall.
yeah. Well, exactly.
The fall up.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the season. Fall of October. November is looking pretty ominous of 2026.
I had a thought about that, V. So, that's why Larry Ellison spinning up all that money with him and his buddies and their circle jerk. I think that money is going to be used to make a lot of money as the rest of the year happens.
Yeah.
Whether they're putting on shorts and then catching the bottom,
yeah,
or whether they're going to ride up. I know Vela's made a comment with which I agree, as I almost always do. I can't think of anything I've disagreed with when it comes to Vela's anyway, who is in the audience talking with us right now. The way he said it was, and we've seen it, when the market is about to crash in any way, usually you get a lot of like hard moves up first. And what that does is that gets retail investors to panic into the market. Like, oh, it's going to keep going and we got to buy more. And that actually will create what we call exit liquidity for the large money. Yep. So just so you guys understand the way that the system is designed, and it probably cannot continue like this for too long. Your 401k money that just people are asleep at the wheel. It just goes in every month or every week, whatever. That's exit liquidity. That's always a bit of pressure up on the market. So these billionaires, what they do is they crush the market. All those people who are passively putting money into the market without even knowing it or thinking about it, that they get left holding the bag after the market crashes, right? The smart money buys those dips, and then that 401k money continues to be upward pressure, and that's called exit liquidity. Why is that? Well, think of it this way. You're at a swap meet. You're selling hammers. Nobody wants hammers. So you got to lower your price for hammers to get anybody to buy it, right? Well, if you are a billionaire in the stock market and you're trying to sell the top, if nobody wants to buy it, you're going to crush the price down of the stock market. You're going to have to lower the price in order to get anybody interested, which means that the bidders are just not there. The 401k is a bunch of people bidding. It's a bunch of people just quietly, not even knowing it, buying hammers. They're just got somebody going to that hammer table, buying hammers once a week. And the stock market and the billionaires can always depend on those hammers being bought, holding up the price, right? And they'll continue to do so. Well, when that's not enough, when everything really starts to look shitty, what they do is they crush the market up. And they'll do that to make retail panic in. And they'll buy NVIDIA and they'll buy Tesla and they'll buy whatever. And the market just continues to go up, and they'll buy their SP 500 ETFs. And the smart money at that point has what's called exit liquidity. They have the upward pressure on price that allows them to exit without putting the price down, without hurting the shares that they have, because they can't get out all at once. They have to slowly exit. So that's how that works. They need upward pressure. We'll probably see panics upward in the market, and then maybe some hard moves down that get caught. That's extremely possible. And it might be, we don't know. It might also be that the market just goes up, like V said. I mean, we're in some interesting times, that is for sure. So those just some kind of like a technical way, the way that the market works, and some way, shape, or form of that will continue into the future. But I don't know, man. I don't know when it breaks, and I think it has to do with when the waves go out in the silver market, and those who are skinny dipping get caught. They didn't have any shorts on. They're naked shorting. That's when it's going to get dangerous.
And it's going to turn to naked sharding after that.
We got you got anything else, V? Or?
No, that's it. That's all I have to say, guys. Go back and listen to this program again.
Hey, I'm sorry. Don't end it just yet. Tell everybody what's going on Friday, the Rogue Roundtable.
Oh yeah, this Friday is very, very special. I keep forgetting. Like, this is like freaking year's over, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be our New Year's Day Rogue Roundtable. We're having CJ on. We're having Matthew Arrett on. We're having Tim Kirby on. Who else we got on?
I could invite Joaquin Flores. He's not in that group.
Yeah, we got to get Joaquin on. Who else is on, bro?
Tim Kirby, CJ, Matt Arrett, Velez, Yumi, and I think that's Martin's. What is it?
Martin Seif.
Martin Seif is in the group, but he hasn't responded.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll see.
And if we get I'll tell Matt to reach out to my hedge fund buddy. Jesus, dude, my memory these days, I swear to God. I don't know.
We should try to get Alex Craner and Tom Luongo.
That's who it is, Alex Craner. Jesus Christ, man.
Let's get
my buddy Alex who lives in Monaco.
Yeah, and Tom Luongo, if we can get him.
Yeah, get Tommy on. But yeah, let's do it. Rogue Round. You don't want to miss Friday's show, folks. It's gonna be jam packed. We're gonna be running it for over an hour. God knows it could go for 3-4 hours. Who cares? We're just gonna run that thing. There'll be a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. So keep it locked and loaded right here. And with that being said, folks, we are at the end of the show. If you haven't done so already, check out the link on the bottom for Algo Factory. Get ready to be in. I mean, just buckle up, Buttercup, man. We are we're in it, man. We are definitely in it. And with that being said, Cowboy, take it away.